industry, especially Intuit content, like perhaps something like how have we leveraged AI and ML to really accelerate some of the benefit that we offer to our customers. So a ton of content and information on various topics. And the last piece that we are going to talk about today is how you can actually work with Intuit by means of integrating your product with QuickBooks. You could also connect with other startups who've done this before just to hear their experience, and then later on, also apply if you're interested to work with us. Gaurav, over to the next slide, please. Yeah, so becoming a member is really simple. We made it free for startups to just come in and access this. As we said, our mission is really to help as many startups as possible, because this is really where Intuit's mission is aligned in saying how can we power prosperity for small businesses and startups around the world. So you could just go to Intuit Circles if you're not a member already. Gaurav, can you stay on the previous slide, please? Yeah, and if you're not a member already, you could start the sign up process. Any G Suite ID works, Gmail ID works, and we ask for some basic details to know that if you're really a startup, and yes, you're ready to explore and avail all those benefits. I'll hand it over to Aditya now. Won't take too much time to talk a little bit more about how you can work together with Intuit and what does integrating with a product really means. Over to you, Aditya.
Thanks, Archana. Are you guys able to hear me okay?
Yes, sir. You're all quite audible.
Awesome. Gaurav, would you mind going to the next slide, please? And thank you for doing this for us. We know that this can be irritating at times. Great. So guys, my name is Aditya. I'm the head of product here at Intuit for the QuickBooks Desktop core portfolio of products. And I will be talking about in the next 5 to 10 minutes on one of the key areas that you can explore when you sign up for Intuit Circles, and that is QuickBooks integration. Now, what is QuickBooks? QuickBooks is Intuit's flagship product, and it is an accounting application for small businesses. It's got close to 7 million users worldwide, and it has been its category leader for almost last 32 years. And so, like I said, these are small businesses. That's our target persona. That's our customers. And they use QuickBooks to manage their compliance as well as accounting needs. And they're consistently looking for third-party applications and concepts that will help them manage their business better. Why? Because they obviously did not get into small business to do accounting. They got into business to follow their passion. So anything which helps them manage their books better is something that they're willing to try and pay for. Anything which helps them spend less time accounting is something that they're looking for. So if you as a startup have an idea or concept or a product which helps them do that, whose target persona is small businesses, or you're using any kind of data which is related to the transactions and accounting for small businesses, you can consider integrating with QuickBooks. We have a comprehensive set of APIs as well as ways to pitch your app or concept to these startups, which will help you access this customer base. Over the next 20 minutes, me and my colleague Rajesh will take you through what does this integration means and answer any questions that you may have. Does that sound okay? Cool. I'll take that as a yes. Would you mind going to the next slide, Gaurav? So really, the question becomes why integrate? Because all of us are very cognizant of the fact that startups have a limited bandwidth, and anything that they do has to carry a return. And the real reason that you should consider doing this integration is because this gives you an opportunity to tap into the QuickBooks ecosystem. Like I said, this is one of the largest ecosystem of small businesses in the world. We have close to 7 million users. And most of these users are looking for additional tools beyond QuickBooks. And we need help from developers and startups such as you to actually go and serve these needs. Just for reference, approximately 68% of our users use on an average about 4 apps. These apps can range in functionality from inventory management, payroll, employees, or even say sending gift cards to their employees. We also have a community of 25,000 developers. Now, these include marquee names such as Square, PayPal, and upcoming names like Melio. who are actively creating apps for these QuickBooks developers. So this becomes a win-win relationship. For QuickBooks, this makes us accelerate the journey of providing tools to our small businesses. For developers, it becomes an opportunity to tap into this customer base, leverage the Intuit brand name, and then get access to these 7 million customers. That's really why we consider that integrating with QuickBooks can be an opportunity for the smaller businesses and for the startups alike. We can go to the next slide, Gaurav. And then what is it that Intuit does in order to help you do this journey? We have a string of initiatives, right from we have an app store in product discovery within QuickBooks itself, so that your app can be discovered. And we also do several developer showcases and event to showcase your work and support you as wherever it's needed. In the App Store, you can check this out on apps.quickbooks.com. Like I said, we have close to 25,000 apps and developers on there. It has the capability to so that users can quickly find, connect, and review our apps. It also becomes a great channel for getting feedback about your apps and how they are performing. It also has a simplified app landing page that we recently revamped, where you can put in screenshots, link to your website itself, so that customers can find out more. In product discovery, this becomes a critical flow in terms of pitching your apps to the right customers. So there is capability inside QuickBooks that we can up-level the apps at the right point in the workflow. A great example of that would be, for example, if your app allows employees to record their time for running payroll, we can actually bring that up when customer is going through a payroll flow inside the product itself. So it becomes really, really relevant. Of course, there are other areas such as the landing page, as well as the tiles on the home page, as well as the app connection page inside QuickBooks, where the apps can be up-leveled and visibility created for the products. We also do developer showcases from time to time. Recently, we did a codathon in India where we had several participants in order to bring up the upcoming startup and talents. And these customers, these startups, were then pitched in to the panel, and they won prizes, as well as got listed on the App Store. We do this across the year, across the globe, including in US, India, and Australia. Archana, do you want to add anything more on the codathon?
Yeah, so I think you've covered most of it. That the primary intent of the codathon is to actually enable more startups platform, and we just did the first version of it. This year we have a few winners. Just gives you more exposure into the Intuit's ecosystem, get us know better in mentors, etc. So that's all I would add, and you could actually check out more about the codathon on intuitcircles.com/codathon. I'll post a link on the chat.
Yeah, and it was awesome to see the ideas which came up. Great. Would you mind moving to the next slide, Gaurav? So here are a couple of use cases, right? Instead of us talking about it, this is a couple of cases from actual live integrations which were done. The left one is one from an Indian startup. The right one, Method CRM, is a global integration use case. So let's look at these videos. Gaurav, would you mind clicking on the left thumbnail to start the video? The left one, please.
Yeah, actually, I'll have to stop my screen and then move on to the YouTube link. So I'll just do that.
No problem. Are you able to share the audio as well, Gaurav?
Aditya, I guess it doesn't have the audio sharing option right now. Some reason.
Sure. I mean, why don't we just play it and I can give a walkthrough, right? So just so that you know, this is I'll be giving running commentary. Please bear with me. So Credily is actually a Indian startup which is providing, as the name suggests, credit for SMBs here in India. What this shows you is how the end-to-end experience actually works, how customers are able to seamlessly navigate between both the products. In fact, they have made within their product for QuickBooks, and then the customers can also run payroll on Credily. So, like I said, helps us get a really comprehensive payroll solution on our platform, and Credily gets them integrating with QuickBooks for where startups can maintain their overall accounts. So, win-win for both the customers. This is something which we went live last year, and we are seeing great
the
feedback.
components that my salary has. I'm searching for HRA,
Oh,
and I'll
perfect.
click on Run Report. Now click on Journal Entry option. That's it. This is my journal entry for the current month. Thanks for watching.
Great. So that was about Credily, and that was from the payroll side of things. And Gaurav, would you mind sharing the second link, which is for a CRM called as Method CRM?
Yeah, I'm sharing it now.
Sure.
Yeah, this would have the audio. Sorry about the audio one.
No, you found it at the end, so that's awesome.
Meet Method, a CRM designed for businesses using QuickBooks and rated the #1 CRM by QuickBooks users and pro advisors. Method's powerful combination of a two-way QuickBooks sync and customizable platform allows you to streamline your business from lead to repeat and anything in between. Collect and close more deals by streamlining lead management. For example, easily get leads into Method with a web-to-lead form, which turns your website visitors into CRM leads that are only sent to QuickBooks when they become paying customers. Method will instantly notify the sales rep of the new lead and automatically create a sales opportunity, log an activity, and create a follow-up task so you never have to worry about potential business slipping through the cracks. Once you've won a new customer, automated workflows allow you to service customers, send out invoices, and receive payment in fewer steps involving fewer team members. Simply click a button to convert a lead into a customer, which triggers Method to sync that customer with QuickBooks. Similarly, an invoice can be created from an estimate with a click of a button. And customers can view their invoices through Method's customer portal, where they can make payments online. And of course, these payments are mirrored in QuickBooks. Turning customers into loyal repeat business is made easier with consolidated relationship and transaction data in Method. Review past transactions, view balances, or create a reminder to touch base with a customer after a sale. A complete view of each customer's history means that every customer will receive world-class service no matter who picks up the phone. And the Method platform is customizable. You can finally have a system made just for your unique business. Add custom fields, create a personalized workflow, customize existing sales reports, or create an entirely new app on Method's platform. With Method's code-free, customizable platform, the possibilities are endless. But don't take it from us. Thousands of Method customers love what customization brings to their business. Our QuickBooks Online certified team is here to help get you started. So start your free trial today to streamline your business from lead to repeat and anything in between.
Awesome. Thank you, Gaurav. So guys, this was an example of how a CRM application can integrate with QuickBooks. And you can see it has both product as well as GTM implications. With product, you get access to accounting and transaction data, helps you cover more use cases, create more engagement and loyal relationship with the customers. From a GTM standpoint, as you noticed, Method was able to tap into the QuickBooks user base, also talk about the fact that, that they're working with the QuickBooks brand, and use the fact that their rating on the QuickBooks App Store is so great and pitch that to the customers. So overall, a win-win relationship on the both sides. And then finally, Gaurav, we have one last one, and I'm sorry I'm making you do that. This is feedback from one of our partners here in India called Easy Ecom. And they are actually doing integration across e-commerce channels. So Puneet, who's somebody that we worked with, he will share his experience on what his experience with Intuit Circles and integrating with QuickBooks was like.
I'll just share the screen of the video, right?
Sure.
Multiple e-commerce channels. So let's take an example of a brand that is basically trying to sell their products across sites like Amazon, eBay, Flipkart. So what we do there is essentially we provide them a platform where they can manage their entire inventory process. Now that starts with creating purchase orders, to stock inverting, doing the quality checks, storage in the warehouse, all the movements, and then the outward process, the shipping integrations. So the entire end-to-end inventory and order management process we provide as part of Easy Ecom. The next major problem in e-commerce is the return, handling the returns. When customer receives a product, they don't like it, they send it back. How do you manage that process? So first is managing the inventory part. The second is managing the return, the quality check again. Then you have to generate a credit note. Now imagine doing all this manually. So we went ahead and automated this entire process. The reconciliation of returns. Have you been paid correctly by Amazon? Is your logistics partner charging you more? All those things we have completely automated. Some of our clients have gone from 50 orders a day to doing 2,000 orders a day. Now, if you don't have a cloud-based accounting solution, there's no way you can manage that kind of volume. So that is where a cloud-based architecture comes into play. So there we automated the entire accounting process. All the invoices, credit notes, everything, all the records, we basically automatically sync into QuickBooks. And once we work with QuickBooks, the integration is very straightforward. It's completely automated. There is no manual input required. So all in all, essentially, with the launch of EasyCom solution globally in integration with QuickBooks, I think we are basically proceeding towards being able to establish EasyCom on the global map. And we are working very closely with partners like QuickBooks to co-promote our product in the existing customer base. So that is the next step for us, and I'm very happy to work with QuickBooks on this entire journey.
Awesome, thank you. So that was Gaurav. That was Puneet, who's the founder of Easy Ecom, and he's been working with us for integrating on e-commerce channels. So really, guys, these were a few cases of how integrating QuickBooks can be useful. So if you have an idea that is for small lenders and medium business customers, you would like to accelerate it, get access to 7 million customers, please do get in touch with us. And we love to talk product. So anytime you want to bounce off ideas, we would love to have that conversation. In order to do so, what you would need to do, Gaurav, would you mind going to the next slide? So once you sign up for Intuit Circles, if you want to explore integrating with QuickBooks, what you can do is go to the collaborate link. There's a simple form which just asks about, hey, what your business is, what you would like to do, so we can get you connected to the right experts, and then we can explore and get you all the resources that you need to get in and get that integration done. There are also additional resources in terms of similar startups who have done this, case studies, examples that can get you inspired as well. Now, if you want to, if the next question in your mind can be, what are the technical details? That is something my colleague Rajesh will talk about next. Rajesh, would you mind taking it over? Hey, Rajesh, you there? You might
Rajesh, you are on mute right now. Can you just unmute yourself?
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Rajesh.
Sure. Thank you, Aditya. And I can share my screen, right? Because I'll be going through the demo as well. So let
So
me.
I'll stop my screen right now, and then you
Okay.
can share it.
Sure.
Yeah, you can share it now.
Got it. Asking me. What happened?
I guess Rajesh has went offline.
I guess he's trying to reconnect. Let's just.
Yes.
Sure, we'll just give it a second. Otherwise, you guys will be stuck back with me.
Right. So Rajesh is here again. Rajesh, can you hear us?
Yes. So it wanted my Mac to allow permissions and restart. So I had to leave and come back. Are you all able to hear my voice?
Yes, Rajesh.
Very good. And now I'm going to share my screen. So wow. Desktop.
Rajesh, we can see your screen now.
Very good. Thank you. Sorry about the delay. Okay, so let's get to the welcome everyone for this session on the technical details of how do we get to the gist of the doing actual integration. So now, as you know that Intuit, we have our partners and all the app developers, and they are a very strong part of our app ecosystem community. So if you think from business owner perspective, they don't just use their additional the software that they use for running their business, but they also need additional tools, right? To run the, for example, check their Google Drive, or do the T-sheets, or do the payments, or do the HR applications, as Aditya just mentioned. So QuickBooks itself is not enough for them from the accounting perspective. It needs a lot more to do this thing, as you can see in this picture. And as you can see that apart from your accounting system, you also need to go and talk to PayPal for getting your payments done. You may have to talk to Salesforce to get your CRM details in and out, right? You may have to go and talk to Pox. And so if you're thinking from a business owner perspective, they need a complete ecosystem. Now, if they have to deal with these accounting software and the other applications separately, like enter the data at one place and then enter the data at another place, it would be too much of chaos and too much of work for them. So instead of focusing on their business applications, they would be focusing more on where and how to enter these data, right? What integration does is, with the integration, you enter data at one source and it automatically gets transmitted into your QuickBooks and from the QuickBooks to the other system. That's why we do the integration. And that's what all the startups, their applications are written. They become so complementary to the capabilities which are being into the QuickBooks. And by doing this integration, as you know, all the benefits that we had discussed earlier by Archana and Aditya, you not only get to provide the abilities to the customers to use your applications, you also have access to the global customer base that QuickBooks exposes and give it to you, right? So by global means now QuickBooks is used by millions of customers across the world, and you being on this such a strong platform, right? You get access to it. So that is the beauty of this QuickBooks platform. Now, on the QuickBooks ecosystem, as I mentioned, we have e-commerce, expense management, Credibly you just saw from the HR applications point of view. These are some of the use cases. Why would somebody be integrating with the QuickBooks? So you, as one of your startup companies, you might bring in some of the use cases, some of your apps, doing the creative and an innovative way of handling things, whether they are from funding and capital, whether they are from reporting the business insights to the customers, all of them, and then you bring in by doing the integration and build and be a part of the QuickBooks ecosystem. So the and they continue on the same one. These are some of the additional typical use cases of how other applications and other startup developers have integrated the applications. They were all related to either financing, accounting, HR operations, CRM, and so forth. Now, when we do the integration with any company, whenever you do the cloud-based integrations of one app with another app, these are the typical milestones that you will be hitting and the key concepts that you will be dealing with. When I say you, means your development team, your integration team, all the teams who would be dealing with the APIs exposed by the platform. So as you can see, the API connectivity is required. Authentication you may have to deal with. You may have to work with the data transformation because one system handles the data and entities and schema in one way while the other systems handles in a different way, right? So creating a small bridge so that they can all talk to each other. Similarly, for the workflows and orchestration of your data, you have the abilities to provide that. And background processing would be needed in case you want some nightly build to be done or asynchronous processing to happen between your application and the QuickBooks platform, then that would also come very handy when you're doing the integration. And then the other part is the webhooks. So webhooks is a very standard way of providing the pub/sub model pattern where QuickBooks is like every time a customer is added or every time a bill payment is done or every time an invoice has been created or customer creates some vendor information, right, or new bills have come up, you as an app developer would like to get notified and take some corresponding action related to your business. So in that case, you can connect to the webhooks exposed by QuickBooks and get those notifications. Just a quick check. Am I okay on the screen sharing and the time and the voice part?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you. So coming to the APIs one, these are the few entities that you would be mainly dealing with when doing the integration. So everything is available on the site that I'll be going with. So after this few screen sharing of the deck, I would like to walk you through the actual demo of where all these things are existing, and it is completely public and all available to you without any cost. So these are the 4 customer related things. You may have to deal with the estimation creation, right? Or the approvals of the bills that a customer has created, or the invoice generations, or the payment for the invoices that has been done, and in the creation of the sales receipts, right? And so these are the typical online API entities that you would be dealing with. Now, for people who are, I'm assuming that most of you, because you have already started a business and you are in the startup, or going to start the startups, you already know that some of these accounting terms will show up on your business, right? You have to have your product, some kind of product or the services that you're doing. You have to have a vendor who will be supplying, the raw material or raw information to you, or consuming your some of the raw information. You have to have a customer who would be consuming your services or consuming your product, and in order to sell the customer, then you will have to get into the payment mode and generation of the bill and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is this is the accounting world, right? You have to deal with the tax information, currency information. You have to deal with the different kind of the journal entries that you would be creating into the accounting system and so forth. So for all of these API resources, you have the corresponding APIs available, exposed by Intuit, QBO developer platform, and You can do all kind of CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete of these entities related to your business through the APIs in a very easy manner, and that we'll walk through those interfaces. So as a very easy step, how do I get started as an app developer? Very easy. Create an Intuit developer account, free of cost. There are no charges for it, and you can be there. You can start using these APIs. There are no charges for using any of these APIs. You create some sample apps. I would say, what is this app? So it's like, for example, if I'm an HR application and from Credily, they created a Credily app. If you are an ADP payroll company and who is processing the payroll for the employees, and you are using an app and doing integration with into products, QBO, then you will create an app that serves these purpose, right? So simply creating and create a app is one step where the platform, developer platform of QBO would provide you with the app API keys and authentication. Very standard process across the world, whether you deal with the Google APIs, Microsoft APIs, or Amazon APIs, it's the same process across, right? And then you get to see you will be able to get the tokens required to use those APIs. And once these things are all set up, then you can start calling those APIs. And at the end, we will see some demo of using these APIs at runtime. Right. Now, once along with the APIs also comes the software development kits, right? Because all these apps can be done in many ways. They can from the technology standpoint, stack standpoint, you might be using Java stack, you might be using .NET stack, you may be using Python, right? Or you might be using a mobile stack, right? For all these stacks and SDKs are already available. We also have a built-in boilerplate codes available to kickstart your applications, so you don't get stuck into the initial keys and authentication and so forth. Idea here is to get you quickly started on the APIs, and then you focus on your business process, business need of what exactly that needs to be done related to your business, and put majority of efforts into that area. So among the developer tools, you have OAuth Playground is available. Very easy to show you how do you get started, how do you get the tokens for your APIs. There are Sandbox Companies available. Before you get into the production, you would like to do a lot of play around and see how my integration is doing, how does it look like, how would my Sandbox company. Now company is the term in terms of the QuickBooks Online. Everything you do is the mother step is creation of a company, and all your customer entities and payroll, payment, everything becomes a child of that company. So you can create your company in the Sandbox environment that we have available. And again, any of these things there are no charges against for using any one of them. And then you can explore your APIs. You can look at the SDK, sample codes in Postman. I would try to go through as many of them as possible as a demo post this, so that you are quickly aware of it, and then you can try it at your convenience later. So this is the Intuit developer portal. I'll take you over there. I'll log back in and walk you through. And then all the tools that I mentioned in terms of exploring what those APIs are available. How do I get the reference details of the schema of those APIs? What input needs to be given, what output will be there, whether it comes in JSON format, what is the structure of those elements, and so forth. So and then the complete Postman. So those things are available right there. And this is the Authentication Playground. I'll quickly show you at the end. And these are some of the sandbox companies that you'll be creating, as I mentioned in the 4 easy steps, or on my previous slide. So you can create company. Being in India, we would like to create company for the India, but in down the road, you may want to expand your business across the world, right? It may be in the US based or UK and so forth. So you will be able to create the sandbox companies for that particular country specific region. So this is the snapshot for the companies that I have created into my sandbox. So as you can see, I have India-based company. I have US-based couple of companies that I want to try with, and there are some UK-based and so forth. And that is just a snapshot for the API Explorer. So the good part and the fun part is, as a developer, when I'm working with this, and I would like to see the details about my sandbox. When I run an API, it's just not giving me a static information about what the API does, what input and output responses. I would like to hook it up to the my account and see at runtime, give me the exact data related to my account, right? Those sandbox account. So those sandbox accounts, and it will give you those APIs right there itself, and you can run and get the responses there itself. So that's the beauty of the API Explorer tool available on the developer portal. And then most of you might be familiar with one or the other type of client applications. Postman is just one of them, widely used by developer community, and you can run each of these API, the complete stack, in a Postman. One click button, and it will import the whole collection of API into your Postman, and you can just go right there itself. It's very beautifully, very easily completed. And as I mentioned earlier, that now you might be dealing with different kind of software development kits to do your integration, and these are the resources available. We will be sharing these deck with all of you so that you can get the links of it. These are all hyperlinks, so you can go through each one of them. So it's a pretty much wide variety of SDKs and tech stacks available, and you will be able to complete your integration with any one of them. Right. Now, talking about some of the initial challenges that you might face when you start doing the integration, and so do not worry, we have a lot of support available, a lot of questions that has already been handled by the previous integrations. So how do I do this? How do I get the responses? Where can I find the accounting APIs, or where can I find more details about how do I connect to QuickBooks, right? And what are the standard UI standards or guidelines I need to stick to before I can host those UI controls onto my website and so forth. So for all these questions, they are pretty much available. We also have a community forum. We also have a place where you can raise a technical, a tech support tickets, and the technical team might get back to you. And so, and pretty much if you can look at these sample codes or the questions that have already been answered on our developer community forum, you would most of the 99% of the chances you would get your answers there itself. But we do have the support channels available, so you can always feel free to reach out to us in case you encounter any of these challenges. As I mentioned, right, so we have technical support forum, we have some developer forum. We will see if there are any other channels available that we can expose. And these are just the summary of the resources that you have. There are a couple of YouTube videos also available in case you are interested in going through it, where we talk about the journey of our typical integration steps that you might encounter with. It's very intuitive. You don't have to go to the YouTube videos, but in case you would like to go through it before doing it, you are most welcome to do that. And these are the various user guides, tutorials. It's a lot of ammunitions in terms of doing your integrations already available, pretty much that we can think of you would be needing it. And then it just get started and start your integration there itself. Some people who have already done that, and we have extensive documentation on what use cases they were thinking of, how they went with the integration. Those links are already available here, so I'm sure you would love that. And then I'll start my demo of the that I promised earlier, and you can always reach out to Archana in case you have any questions, or the Intuit Circles team, right? And these are the details that it will be available to you in case you have any questions related to integrations or your getting onboarded. So with that, I'm going to go to our QuickBooks. So if you go to developer.intuit.com on the Google and just do the sign in case you have not signed up, just go ahead and sign up. It would need your email address at the most. There are no credit card or any information required to enter in order to get sign up. Sign up is completely free. So once you have logged in into the developer portal, then you would see all these details. You would see your sandboxes that you can create. Play around. You're not going to interfere with any of the production systems. If you're playing with these sandboxes companies, and you can have multiple sandboxes companies for the different kind of business that you would be doing. So as a startup, you might be doing a couple of different things, or try to do the different things with the different teams that you may have, then they can create it. So you can add a sandbox company. When you add a sandbox company, you need to mention the your country of origin where this company file will belong to. The reason why the company files are tied to the company to the countries, because every country has a different tax and rules around it. India has a GST. Other countries may not follow the GST pattern. They have different patterns. That's why we have company files for your application corresponding to each of these countries that you have. Right, so you add this. I have already added few, so I'll skip it. And then the sandbox company, if you click on the sandbox company, it will open up the Kibio version of your QuickBooks Online product specific to your sandbox company. For example, if I can say and open in a different tab, then it will try to open up my sandbox company version of the QuickBooks sandbox company that I can play around and go through each of those details. And I have my dashboard where I can see the complete picture of the most of the entities that I deal with: invoices, sales, expenses, and so forth. And these are the few other entities that you may want to try. So everything is already available. I have my production company also available, so that I wanted to show you a few things there. So once you create the app, and you can so the company has been created, app has been created. Remember the first few steps, right? Sign up. After that, create an app, and after that, look at the API Explorer and start doing the integrations, right? So let me show you how the API looks like. So you have API references, which will get you the details of the what are my accounting, what all I can do the accounting APIs, right? How do I create an account? How do I query an account? How do I read an account, and so forth, right? And then you can also, there's a API Explorer here. So as I mentioned earlier in the demo session, that I can pick up all sandbox companies that I have created here, and it will get me the details of those APIs corresponding to my sandbox company, so that I can see at runtime details what are these entities. For example, querying an account. So I can mention here the details, and boom, I'll get the details right there itself about the sandbox company, and the accounts on the Sandbox company that I might have created, right? So it will get me the details about that. The complete JSON structure will be out there. So this way you can explore your APIs. Why should I call this API? What details it will give me? What information I need to provide in order to pass those APIs? And these are pretty much RESTful APIs. So you know that RESTful APIs, you need to pass the certain information and in the parameter, and then you can get your details there. Right. Other tools that we had available were the OAuth Playground. Right. Before you can call the APIs, Qubio APIs, you need to authenticate yourself, who you are, have you registered on the R as a company, as an app developer, are you registered to use these APIs against a certain company, right? So that is the authentication part.
Hi Rajesh. Rajesh, actually we'll have to wrap this up because we've exceeded the time now.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so let me just quickly wrap it up in 2 minutes and then we'll close.
Sure.
Okay, so here you select your app, right? And all these things will be available for all of you to try it out. And once you select this app, there are corresponding client ID, client secrets available. And then you mentioned that, okay, yes, I would like to get details about the accounting or the email of the user, the profile of the user, and other details. And you get the auth code from the Qubio platform corresponding to your the scope that you have selected. And it will ask me, okay, which application, you have so many sandboxes, which sandbox are you talking about? You mentioned that you provide the consent that as a user, I allow these APIs to get details from about my company. And once the and you say get tokens, once the tokens are available for your APIs, you say, okay, which API I would need, maybe some accounting APIs. Get me the company information, get me the payment information that I have made through, and so forth. And all the details will be available right there itself, the complete details, right? So, so anyway, so feel free to go through your the tools that are already available here, code and samples, Postman, and other things that we just mentioned. And in case you have any questions, you can always get back to us. So with that, I can wrap it up, and I'll stop sharing my screen.
All right. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Aditya, and thank you, Archana. It was great having you, and this was a very informative sessions. So from now we'll take on the questions. For the startups, you can either ask the questions in the chat box or you can raise hand, and I'll ask you to ask the questions after I unmute you. The floor is open for the questions. Any questions? So we had one questions that was already there. That was from. So there's this question from Ketki. Ketki is asking how to get in touch with mentors. So Ketki, there are two methods. One is that you can go onto the virtual platform, that is the NASSCOM Startup Hub, and reach out to the mentor that you see fit. The second option is that you can reach out to your point of contact for NASSCOM. So every region would have their own point of contact, and this is what we can do. So you can reach out to all the your prospective regional lead basically, and they would be able to help you with the mentor. Right. So Manas has a question. So Manas, I'll request you to unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, now I have a couple of questions, Gaurav.
Yeah, Manas, please go on.
That would be basically if you're already using AWS and cloud services, will we still get the credit?
So Manas, if you have already using it, yeah, you were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying that if you're already using these services like cloud services and PayU and all those stuff, will we still get the credit? Because right now, even as far as PayU is concerned, we are giving them some, I think, 1% TDR and all. And in your case, I've just read that it's 0% for next 1 year.
Right.
So my question to you is that if we have already integrated these stuff onto our platform, All right, since we already use cloud, so now since we have
right. So Manas, as far as most of the partners are concerned, right? If you have not utilized their credits before, right? Doesn't matter if you are using the tool or not, right? If you have not utilized the credits before, you can utilize them now, right? Even if you have already integrated and all of that. But with respect to each of the partners, you can go onto their respective page and you'll have the conditions over there. If there is any particular condition that they need a different account or something like that, that would be mentioned on that particular page. But if it's not,
have
you
to
can go ahead and
duplicate the content, we have to transfer everything.
yeah, it's in a very rare case for AWS and for PayU. I don't think you need to make new account. You can just log in with your current account and you can utilize these variants.
Correct. All right. Now, one more question which I had, Gaurav, is that initially you were giving Google AdWords and Facebook ads, what we say credits, but this time in the list which I saw, it was absent. So, do we get any credit for AdWords as well as Facebook ads?
Not at the moment, Manas. So the policies around all the credits have changed a lot in the last 3-4 years, and same has been reflecting in the startup kit.
All right. So, now one more question I needed was, like, what kind of a marketing support would you be giving us? Like, will you be providing us some team which will be helping us with online marketing or something like that?
See, if we have any particular requirement, you can get in touch again. As I said, right, we would be if you want a digital agency that you want to connect to, you can ask your regional lead and they'll be happy to help you. If you need if you need some mentor who can actually guide you, so you can again get in touch with your regional lead and he'll be happy to connect you with the particular particular mentor that we have in that space.
Right. That would be great. Now, one more question which I had with you, Gaurav, was that one of the most important part of actually growing is you need some kind of awareness program, right?
Right.
Awareness online. So, would you be helping us with some kind of a online, like for example, your story is a partner with you guys, right? So, if we want something published about us on internet like VC circles and your stories and various other platforms, so that we can get the brand awareness amongst the people who are using it. So
Manas, so I'll tell you what, right? So this is for everyone. So where we have a very structured program, we also make it very customized. So any request that you have, right? Anything that you have, right? That you want to actually, whether it be support in terms of connecting to someone or getting your showcase in particular, particular event or something like that on a blog or portal, you can always reach out to your regional lead and they would actually be able to support you into this, right? So I'm not saying that everything would be available as you asked, but we would try to do the most out of it.
The thing is, what I'm saying is that if we normally go through the normal procedure, right, the PRs are pretty expensive.
Exactly. So Manas, we would try and do that. Manas, we'll take the overall. I believe you have a lot of questions, and we have other startups who who want to ask the questions, right? So we'll take. If you have any more questions, you can actually connect offline, and we'll be happy to have a call with you and then take all the questions you have.
Thanks. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Amit, can you please unmute yourself and ask the questions if you have?
Yeah, hi Gaurav. First of all, thank you for having us over here for the induction. And I have also a couple of questions. The first question would be like talking about this. I'm so sorry, I just removed WhatsApp. So first question would be like about this NASSCOM for startups.in. Do we get login details directly or do we need to sign up over there?
Amit, if you have not received it, you can just email it to me and you'll receive it from our end. You don't need to sign.
Done that already. And
okay, I'll have a look after the session and then we'll revert you.
Sure. When would we are expecting to start the incubation center, like physical incubation?
See, physical incubation, right? See, currently under the norms, may I ask which region are you from?
Gurgaon.
Gurgaon. Okay. So see, I guess we don't have a lot of startups who actually want to come to the office right now. Everyone is working from home. But what you can do is you can get in touch with Nikhil. He would be in your point of contact, and he has a better understanding of when the center would start.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
One last question I had, I forgot. About the mentors part, can we find out the mentors based on particularly we are not much aware of their names, but we are looking particularly by the sector that they are belonging to.
Right.
And can we do that way? We try to connect
Yes,
them.
yes, you absolutely can. So you go onto the NASSCOM Startup Hub, right? In the filter, you put like fintech. So in the people, you put mentor and put the field that you want to actually have the mentor in, right? And you'll be able to access the same, right? If not, what you can do is you can connect to your regional lead, and he would be able to help you with the mentor.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Rest, I'll get connected with Nikhil personally to help me out.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? I think there's a lot of questions on the platform and everything. So for people who have not received the credit the login as of now, please wait for maybe a couple of more hours, and then I'll make sure that every one of you have the link. The next thing is about the program. The virtual program is totally free, right? You don't need to pay anything for the program per se, right? And moving ahead, if you want to avail any co-working space, that is chargeable at a very minimal cost. So you can always get in touch with your regional lead, and he would actually help you with the co-working space. Anything else from any questions from any startup about anything? You can just ask at the moment.
Then can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So the very basic problem that any startup face, and I'm also founder of another startup which is in a photography domain for like last 3 years. So one of the biggest challenges that we face on scaling up the users, like we get definitely early customers, but we face the problems of stinging them to the platform, plus how we can scale it. Like usually when it comes to sale, definitely funding is a major concern over here. So we look at, okay, we add more, say just 3-4 people, 5 people in the sales, and when then they try to bring the more sales to the company, so we can scale it up. But what happens when we actually scale the team, everything gets messed up. So we are looking at, like, I'm particularly looking at that how we can solve the problem. Like in July, August, we had a small team of 5-6 people in the sales. They did really good. And to scale that, we hired about 45 to 50 people in the team, and it got messed up. So earlier the results were coming much better, and later on it got messed up. So I'm looking at particularly that how we can actually manage this. We are only facing the problem in terms of scaling up the sales. Sales is happening, only the scaling is a problem.
Okay, so Amit, this is a very this is a very particular problem that you're facing, right? So there's something that I can actually I can suggest on my experience, but I guess it would be better if an expert who comes from this particular skill set, right, would be able to help you with this.
Yeah.
Right. So Amit, what you can do is I'll suggest to you your regional would be contacting you very soon. If not, you can reach out to them, right, and ask them this particular questions, and they'll be able to guide you into this, right. The problem that you're facing, right, is very genuine. A lot of startups actually face this while scaling up. So this is something that we would do, and what we'll do is we also would be doing some sort of expert sessions. This is for everyone, right? There are certain problems which all of majority of the startups actually face. Whether it comes to the investments, whether it comes to certain skill set like B2B, like sales, marketing, and so on and so forth, right? So we would be doing some sessions shortly. The next week actually we are going to do a session around making products for global markets, right? So those of you who are actually making products for the global markets, where it doesn't matter from which region, we're actually going to host a session where we would have an expert coming in and he would tell you that what are the things that you need to take in consideration while you're making a product, right? In terms of compliances, I mean, we or most of us are tech people, so it's not a it's at far it's not a matter of making the product, but doing the compliance and making sure that it's legally abiding that country. That's a problem. That's something that most of the startups are facing. So we are doing a session next week on that. Similarly, we are doing a session on investments, getting you investor ready shortly, in the coming month. And we would also be doing the mentor connect. So you can reach out to the regional lead saying that this is the particular mentor that I want, or this is a particular type of mentor I want, and we'll be happy to help you into that.
Sure. Thank you.
Hey, anyone has any more questions? Right. So Ritvik, are we good to go? So with this,
Gaurav, just one last thing. So basically, we have a survey link. It's kind of 4 or 5 questions about how the integration session went. So I'll be sharing that on the chat. I would request all the startups to fill it up. It's a quick thing, so it don't take more than 3 minutes max. So I would request everyone to fill it up and just let us know on how the session was and tell your suggestions on what we can do more for the QuickBooks integration sessions ahead. And thank you all the startups on behalf of Intuit. And it was great meeting you all. Yeah.
all right. Thanks, Ritvik, for making this happen. Thank you to all these speakers, Rajesh, Aditya, and Archana. Thank you for being here and spending your time with our startups today. Thank you to all these startups, and we look forward to work with you. I hope you guys have a great time and a great learning curve with us.
Yeah, thanks, Gaurav, for having us join. Thanks to all the startups. Please feel free to reach out to us. Dropped few survey links. I'll also drop my personal ID, so write to me as well.
So request Ritvik has actually posted the form. We'll request it will just take a couple of minutes for all of you to fill in the form. Please do fill in that form. Right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gaurav.
Bye.
Thank you, Gaurav.